Charlotte, but here's a question for you, Liza. What if your hometown was given the title of Worst City to Live in? For America's richest self-made billionaire, Diane Hendricks, and her daughter, Konya, they have made it their mission to rebuild their community one home at a time in their new series, Betting on Beloit. They are revitalizing their hometown that was named the worst city to live in by USA Today. I spoke with Konya about why her family wants Beloit to make a comeback. Tell us about why you wanted to bet on Beloit.
Beloit is just a really important city to our family. My parents, that's where they started their young lives as entrepreneurs. And it's the city that gave them, their first loan and that really embraced them. So we've just been, pro Beloit my entire life, but then it really fell on hard times around the year 2000. Prior to that, it was a manufacturing really epicenter in our state, and the biggest employer left, and it left Beloit in a pretty rough way, and it ended up being voted the worst city to live in the state. So at that point, my family just decided, we need to do something and we need to step in a big way, and my mom really led that effort here. And now she's tasking me with the residential revitalization. So we're just all in on making Beloit, a city that the community can be proud of.
Here you all are, you're billionaires. You could live anywhere in the world. What has kept you grounded in saying, no, we're going to invest in the community that invested in us?
Just that gratitude. So much gratitude for this community. And these are our friends. This is where I was raised. And, I love it here. Like I'm Wisconsin through and through. I love Four Seasons. I think it's a beautiful part of the country. I love the Midwest values and, just the work ethic here. So I wouldn't want to live anywhere else. And I travel for sun. I do travel in the winter sometimes to get a little vitamin D. But, I love where I'm from.
Were you surprised when USA Today named it the worst city to live in America?
Absolutely. It was so insulting and just not accurate at all. At that point, when it was rated or voted by them as the worst city in the state, there was already so much positive momentum. So it was just like a dagger, because it was like, what? Like, there's all of these exciting things happening. Our downtown has so much to offer. And that's really when my mom and the rest of our family just decided, like, we need to go all in. We need to go even bigger. We need to make positive changes. And so we've, hotels, restaurants, we have a new school, trying to work on the education system. We just, about a year ago, got a new baseball stadium for a minor league baseball team. So there's just a lot of exciting things happening. And now I'm digging into these houses to really try to give pride to this historic neighborhood that has so much potential.
Well, take us through that. So you're taking the worst houses on the street and making them the best?
Yes. So the neighborhood is called the Beloit College Park. It's right by Beloit College, which is actually one of the oldest, or if not the oldest, college in the state. So just a really historic, beautiful neighborhood. Most of the homes were built in the late 1800s. Very mixed bag. There are people that care for their homes, take care of them, and they're beautiful. And then there are a lot of vacant, decrepit properties that are just rodent infested, and they're just falling in total, disrepair and truly are not habitable. And traditional flippers don't want to touch them because there's just no way to make money on these. They don't just need, some Band-Aids or a new kitchen and cosmetics. They need everything. But they are historic, so they can't just be torn down and rebuilt. So although we did have to tear one of them down because it was deemed, unsafe and it didn't have a foundation under it. But for the most part, we go in and we just want to make the worst houses in the neighborhood the showpieces in the neighborhood. So that's what Betting on Beloit tracks, and it follows along on our journey, one house at a time. And, the fun that we have in the process and the design decisions, but also the stress and just the weight I feel on my shoulders, in this town, because it is a small town. So, people are watching.
Well, I love the work that you're doing, and I can't wait to watch the rest of the season. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know, I love the fact they could have moved. This family didn't. They're billionaires. They can go anywhere, but they stayed in their community and they're investing back into it.
And I think it's also a really great way to spend your money and like to invest in
Absolutely.
people and in your community. But I mean, USA Today really did everybody dirty. Why did you have to write that article?
The worst city in America? That is a dragging.
Like, let's quit being negative.
Right. I know some bad cities. I don't know if that was up there. Right.
Seriously.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.